I spent 10 years cleaning up my alcoholic father's vomit and forging his signature to keep us housed. After he killed a mother of 3 driving drunk, he got sober for the first time ever. Not to make amends, but to build a legal case that I was the real villain who'd enabled him to death and prevented his recovery. I was 7 when I learned the difference between regular tired and hammered tired. Regular tired meant Dad would eat dinner and fall asleep watching TV. Hammered tired meant I'd find him face down in his own vomit at 3 a.m. The first time I cleaned it up, I used paper towels and Lysol. My hands shook the entire time. By the time I turned 12, I had a system. Rubber gloves under the sink, enzyme cleaner for the carpet, and a change of clothes ready. I'd roll him onto his side and put a trash can next to him. Then I'd set 3 alarms to check on him through the night. Mom left when I was 9. She kissed my forehead one Tuesday morning and never came back. Her note under the coffee maker said she couldn't watch him unalive himself anymore. Someone had to take care of him though. He was still my dad. By 14, I perfected his signature. Permission slips, absence notes, and checks flowed from my pen like water. I'd deepen my voice and call his boss, claiming food poisoning or the flu. They bought it every time. Nobody questions a sick day when you've built trust over years. The bills required more creativity. I opened a checking account online using his information. Every 2 weeks, I'd intercept his direct deposit and pay everything before he could drink it away. Rent, utilities, groceries, whatever was left went into a coffee can behind the water heater. Emergency money for the really bad nights. I told myself it was temporary. He'd get better. He'd realize what he was doing. But addiction doesn't care about your optimism or your hope. Junior year changed everything. Dad discovered the coffee can and threw it at my head. $700 scattered across the kitchen floor while he called me a manipulative thief. Just like my mother, he said. I gathered the bills while he stumbled to his truck. I should have taken his keys. I should have called someone. I did nothing. He returned with a case of beer and an apology. We both knew he was lying, but I helped him to bed anyway. That's what I did. I helped. I enabled. I couldn't see the difference anymore. The night it happened, I was studying chemistry at a friend's house. My phone rang at 9:47 p.m. The next hour blurred into fragments. Police station, fluorescent lights, burnt coffee smell, a dead mother, 3 motherless children, my father's accident. But the worst part came 72 hours later. I was sitting in our living room when the doorbell rang. 2 lawyers in expensive suits stood on our porch. Dad had hired them with money I didn't know he had. They pushed past me with recording devices and notepads. Everything I'd done to protect him became evidence of my crimes. The medication tracking chart showed I'd been practicing medicine without a license. The forged signatures proved fraud. The hidden money demonstrated financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Dad sat in his recliner, sober for the first time in months. He'd prepared a statement about how I'd prevented his recovery, how I'd isolated him from help, how I'd enjoyed the control too much to let him get better. The lawyers nodded sympathetically as he spoke. They'd already built their narrative. A controlling child who preferred managing an addict to losing power. A teenager who played God with someone's life. A minor who made adult decisions that led to vehicular manslaughter. They had text messages where I'd promised to handle everything. Bank statements showing unauthorized access. Voice recordings of me impersonating him to his employer. Years of evidence I'd created while thinking I was helping. The truth was even worse than their story. I had enabled him. Every mess I cleaned taught him he didn't need to face consequences. Every lie I told gave him permission to tell more. Every bill I paid freed up more money for alcohol. I'd removed all the natural barriers that might have